Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from the War Chest Team League. 8 of the top 10 casting personalities drafted some of the top players in the world in a Team League format. That makes all your fantasies come true, and dreams, depending on who you draft. But in the top left, we first have, for the Dread Knights, Maynard's team. It is Parting. Well-known master chef, big boy, Dick Twister, and also occasionally Protoss player. He's building a pylon on the other side of the map as well. And well-versed in building buildings outside of his base from Nathanius' team, the Tank Toppers, which is one of his 3 articles of clothing. I'll let you guess the other 2. It is none other than the man, the myth, the Maru. So Parting just is max paxing. Alright. He found this build in his book of his bag of builds. And he's like, oh, I haven't pulled this one out in a while. And it is a best of 1 format as there are multiple matches to be played. We're just looking at the highlights. Hopefully you're enjoying so far. Like and subscribe. I'm sure nothing interesting will happen for upwards of 20 more seconds. You got plenty of time. But once that is done, we'll have to see. This is one of those strats that only works because Maru is good. So, because Maru doesn't accidentally click his SCV literally anywhere past where the command center is supposed to go, because Maru is near perfect, this gateway will remain unscouted. But if this was just a less accomplished player, you've misclicked. Let's be honest with ourselves. In the couple games you played back in 2013 in the Gold League, how many times did you misclick that SCV Terran players, if you expanded at all? Also, by the way, can we talk about the reaction time? It seemed obvious because we're in the observer perspective, but Maru, near instantaneous, he reacted so fast, he was able to get the SCV back up the ramp. I didn't even realize it until afterwards. I'm like, oh my god, wait, what? Because 99 out of 100 times, even against Maru, I feel, you kill that SCV before they can really react. But he was so goddamn fast. Though, if you do force the cancel here, and he's hiding the command center from Parting, he's hiding the fact that it's still in his base, but he's not hiding his starport and factory, so that's an interesting turn of events. Despite handling himself well and not freaking out, Maru is still in kind of an awkward spot, because the max packs, especially if you don't open Reaper, means you have no way to pressure the Protoss, essentially at all. And that means they can kind of just get 2 bases. It is just a very confident build. And if there was a more confident Protoss player out there, I would ask you to refer them to me, because I don't know if there is anyone more confident, either deservedly or not, than Parting. He's just sitting there building stalkers in Maru's natural while expanding. I see Haz.
Now I have your
I don't think Haz is a confident player. I don't think Haz has a normal set of human emotions and thought processes. I feel like he's actually an alien pretending to be a human, much like Rogue, but in very different ways. Don't warp in a sentry. Don't you dare. Don't do it. He wants to do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna warp in a sentry, right? He's gonna... Oh, medevac! Oh, surprise, Maru! He walks down the ramp at that exact moment. He has the gate. Okay, so, he's right there. He's on his front lawn. Come on out. Come on out. No. You can't just be there. Those are Hellions. 2 Hellions, almost as dangerous as 3. You can't live both Hellions. He's going for the surround. 1 Hellion. He's out of energy! Give him a Red Bull! 9 probes die. Parting is a big fan. Like, we've been talking about character perks and stuff in the past. Like how Clem always gets 1 more kill on his Reaper. Scarlet has double the creep spread, while Parting loses twice as many probes to Hellions as he should. That's his perk. And he has a disease that makes him only go Blink Stalkers, even when other things probably make way more sense. But at the same time, he wins games that almost every other player would lose. Yeah, speaking of, he picks up the tank, targets it down, which vertically makes very little sense, but effectively, at the end of the day, can be summarized like that. He's just warping in Zealots! The Phoenixes can lift the tank, but every shot is a lot of damage. The orbital itself... I'm sorry, this game is making me confused and question... Like, you don't just stand there. He's hitting you with a tank. You're in his base. That's not your base. Parting's like, well... I don't care. He will care once he loses all his units. Parting now has 3 Stalkers and 3 Phoenixes. He definitely overstayed his welcome. He wasn't welcome in the first place, but now it's gone from polite acknowledgement to active hostility. You know what I mean. By, like, the 4th goodbye, you're like, okay, I'll see you next Thanksgiving. Get the fuck out. And by that you mean, oh, great to see you. Catch up. I'll talk to you soon. All right. Nope. Zip up your coat. All right. Parting. It's time to leave. No. Actually, fuck. Let me call you an Uber. Give me your keys. Sucks to be a good person. What is this? What is this, Parting? Parting really doesn't like Hellions. I don't know if this is an appropriate reaction, but it seems reflexive. He really doesn't like Hellions. It's a little late to so obviously not like Hellions. And I don't mind putting your tech here. It's a lot better than the edge of your main. Hey, what? Well, at least some of his tech isn't in the edge of his main. Why is there a Banshee? Does it have cloak? No. It's just, he just has a Banshee. He recalls the Phoenixes. Maru with the next level mind games. Well, he has Phoenixes, so he'll never expect a Banshee. I mean, there was a good reason for that. The recall is a valuable thing to bait out. He did get 3 kills. He scans and spots the 3rd. But, like, I'll take should have been a Raven for 100 gas, please, Maru. I don't really know if that's going to help him out, especially if he plans on doing a 2-base timing, which it seems like he's settled into 3. Okay, everybody calm down. Calm back up. Oh, what was that Phoenix doing? I chart my own course. Well, that was not the Dragon Phoenix. For those who don't know, Parting's also on the Dragon Phoenix gaming team. That's what happens when you get kicked off the team. No longer one of the Dragon Phoenixes with their dragon energy, which they use to lift SCVs. Maru! Maru's just well, I guess it is 3 Phoenixes. You can kind of just shake your head at it. And it's like a buzzing, it's like mosquitoes, but that you can't really see because it's kind of dark, and you're just like, goddamn Phoenixes. Meanwhile, Maru just steps right up, sieges the tanks. They create a nice choke point, which helps against the Zealots, but does not help against the Colossi. So Maru loses all his important units, but Parting loses all his meat here. He lost all of his Zealots. 16 of them so far this game. I think like 4 or 5 were back at the natural, but about even. And alright, we're going blank! What about Templar, Parting? I already got him. I don't see any Templar, Parting. I don't care. We're going blank! I mean, you do eventually want blink when you're filling in your upgrades, but maybe not before, I don't know, other upgrades! I'm sorry, I've casted a lot of parting games lately. And, there's a reason he wears glasses. But the doctor didn't realize he couldn't see, not because his eyes didn't work, but because he blinks so goddamn much. It's causing permanent damage to both my voice, psyche, and emotional health for you to keep going for these goddamn blink stalkers instead of just getting upgrades at Archon's parting. But we'll see how it pans out. Of course, obvious. Ugh. Everybody settle down. Supplies even, workers effectively even, income evening up. Depends on the mules. Harding's gonna have 4 bases, but he's struggling for upgrades. Whereas Maru, not great on upgrades, he's getting his armory. This is the calm before the storms, if you would. The lull in the action while both players have hit each other so hard they have to recover for a little while before they can punch even harder. The observer, this is the most obvious observer. Where do you think it even sieges it up? Tiny bio army. 2 stalkers and 2 zealots. And a cannon. Alright. Harding has 4 storms and a prism. That's quite a Ghost Academy placement, Maru. I get it, but really? Was that necessary? Maru! That is, I will say, that's the first time I've seen our Ghost Academy get killed because it was in a stupid location. Like, I've seen forges, Evo chambers, even engineering bays. But that's the first time I've seen a Ghost Academy just get sniped off a wall because Maru's a lazy bastard. And he loses his enhanced shockwaves, which is a huge Ghost upgrade, literally and figuratively. The radius on those EMPs is increased by almost 40%, or if Protoss would tell it, by the entire map. Which would be ridiculous. Then it would also EMP his orbitals and his other ghosts. So obviously it's not the entire map. Maru! Ah! I'm sorry. I blacked out for a second. When will you learn, young man? When will you learn? Don't. Oh, God. Okay. And he builds it. Yep, he learned his lesson. he learned it. Build some depots around it. Some turrets. Maru, at least he learned. That might be a bit of an overreaction now, but... Oh, the planetary! He blinks out of nowhere. Where's the storms? There's the storms! The Vikings will brave them. So everybody kind of goes their separate ways besides a few unlucky Marines. Charizard's trickling through. And now we're going back. We're building whatever we want at this point. Besides upgrades if you're parting. Okay, he got his upgrades. He's chrono boosting. He's chrono boosting them! He's chrono boosting his upgrades. I mean, that would be the thing to do now that he's maxed out to get an advantage. Adding on more gates, he's going to go up to 14. And I mean, why stop there? Why not 12? Triple drop heading out. Quadruple drop heading out. This one was late to the party, so he wants to show he wasn't slacking. She, rather. Oh, come on, get back here. I know it's your first run. You've never seen... Shakedown cruise complete. Probably suspecting observers. Unfortunately, the Zealots are, right there. Like, I mean, at some point, those medevacs go right out, and then they fly right into a forward base out of Parting. And then suddenly it's like, oh my god, there's this electrical energy. What is that? It's the Nexus. This is Star Trek Generations. William Shatner's still relevant. What's happening? Cinematic universe and history must be entirely rewritten. I had to get that joke out. It wasn't going to last very long, just like William Shatner's relevance. But he's been banking on that ever since. But if you go back in time, you can have Christmas with your children, and that will save the galaxy from the stars exploding. Star Trek. You guys remember that one. Sir Patrick Stewart, action hero. Speaking of which, Sir Dark Templars, action heroes. Shadow Stride is online. DTs are no longer for Archons and Harass. They're big boy blinkas, and they blink right into the tanks, slashing and dashing through everything. The Zealots come in. Come on in, boys. Come on in. The door's wide open. The ghosts! Oh, that's a lot of ghosts. And they snipe. Wait a second. We shouldn't have come this far. What? There are carriers in production? When did that happen? I've been in another universe. 2 carriers. What are we doing? What is this? Everybody's maxed out. They're going towards max upgrades. Why does it take Parting so long to get +3? This is a real issue. This is straight up angry coach criticism. Parting just doesn't get his upgrade. He'll get carriers before +3 attack. Your army is 95% ground units, and he's getting carriers before his +3 attack. What are you doing? Well, Parting is has 100% more WCS championships and world championships than I do, but I have a YouTube channel, so get on my level. Parting might have a YouTube channel. He may have forgotten about it. I'm not sure. Anyways, at this point, I think trying to get damage done is, well, he's just trying to bait an engagement where he actually gets disruptor hits. And then says, well, fuck this area in particular. So carriers are a rich man's unit, and while Parting might not be the poorest man, again, Map Templar! You gotta watch out. Those Templar have been waiting for their moment for 10,000 seconds. And very much hurt a few Marines and forced the medevacs to work overtime. Oh, here we go! More nukes! And by more nukes, we just watched the Dream game. So, well, I know where the Ghost Academy is. A fusion core as well. Parting comes back. There's not really much more ground damage to be done. This game has kind of been just a gentleman's agreement for the most part. From the very early game, past that point, neither player has really been able to get anywhere close to pushing bases. Like, it's just not happening. It's so much not happening. Parting is taking the, like, right here, he's taking a stand. A rich Vespene base, like, in sensor tower range. Optimism at his finest. Another storm that causes the brows of several marauders to furrow. Yeah, that scan gives away. Yeah, of course he's expanded there. What did you think? Meanwhile, oh, the planetary was never repaired after it was built. A nuclear missile! Oh, I missed it. Oh, come back. High-sec auto-tracking, Bio-Army. Good luck with that. Blink Templar. Meanwhile, nukes, actually the most cost and supply effective. The big thing is supply effective. Nukes are one of the most supply effective ways to break down these sort of defenses. It only costs the Ghost. It's not Brood War anymore. You don't need supply for the nukes. It's doing real damage. These are cost-effective and supply-effective nukes. How many times, before you start, like, how many times can I say supply-effective before words start losing all of their meaning? Oh! 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 That Ghost 2 nukes and a cherry on top. Not that huge an impact, but at the same time, like, emotionally. Alright, so the carriers come in, the carriers go out. You can't explain that. He's gonna fight. The Vikings have +1 upgrades, and that's it. There's no mech armor upgrades. The carriers have +2, +1. They're blink DTs, and we're gonna call it the third, but who knows anymore. Something burned. Okay. 3 carriers on the way. How does the carrier count? He's at half a dozen. It's getting to be half a dozen, I think, is when you really... Well, now your army is a carrier army. Before, it was a ground army with carriers. Now it's a carrier army with ground. I think right around 6 carriers is when we cross that line. And Parting is chrono boosting right over it. Another nuke. This one forward, just hoping for the best. Whoa, 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 Parting! Parting, are you... Shiba. Another one! Come on, Parting, why do you do this? He cancels the nuke and dodges the raptors! It holds fire as well. What are you attacking? The Colossi succeeding you. The Colossi will be toppled. Just like in PlanetSide, carriers counter them pretty hard. Rich Vespine Geyser sieged from the low ground. I can't believe this space is still alive. How is it so, like, actually having enough supply to move your units around is the real struggle here. Like, there's so many moving pieces. And there's so many different types of units that have to be managed in different ways. That's a Denmark of Vikings right there. Maru with 18. He's getting +3 ship weapons. Again, he's got, well, there are 10 carriers on the field. DTs are warping in. Another nuke at the front. Liberators. Liberators. Where's my picture-in-picture? He's chasing into the nuke. He lets it fall. This base will be taken out. The tanks have denied any mining. Nuke lands. Everyone scatters. The Blink DTs onto the army. He scans, but there are so many DTs. The EMPs make it easier. More nukes being launched. Left side. Many whelps. Handle it. Carriers on the way, but even though the Ghost doesn't have nuke, is there enough time? I mean, not nuke, cloak, obviously. Well, it doesn't have nuke anymore. Revenge is taken. I don't know if he launched another one immediately, but more EMPs. Vikings heading to the right. The carriers are right there. You see them. How many commands? How many orbital commands? We look at 8 octo-orbitals. Octables. That doesn't make sense. Octo commands? No. Orbital. No. The octo commands. If you add the, it makes anything more dramatic. The Octo Command build. There you go. Now it's a build. It wasn't a build before. Sir Octo Command. Okay, that doesn't work. Planetary. Will hold, of course. I'm mostly freeing up supply. Double nuke! If one didn't cut it, well, 2 might be enough. God bless America. Now, with more carriers coming up, well, Parting knows that most of the units were on the other side. He knows that the Ghosts were committed there, a whole lot of supply. He hits the right side. Liberators, a Venn diagram of freedom. EMPs across the board. The Interceptors sent out to fight a proxy war. A whole lot of turrets. The TF built, he has Neil Steel Armor, has high-sec auto tracking. The TPM is, for good reason, raising. Maru may set our new TPM record. He currently has 24 turrets. He's lost 12 of them. He's at like 3 or 4 TPM right now, which outside of Bronze League Heroes might be a record. +3 ship weapons is done, +1 mech armor, and since the Interceptors have 2 attacks, that armor extra effective, but the DTs eviscerate a planetary fortress before there can be any reaction. Just cutting through the defenses, slicing like a hot scythe through butter. There's not much left over on the far left side, but over on the right, Maru has established his planetary. Neither side really has much gas. Parting has had more income for every time that there haven't been half a dozen mule drops. but he still has that overall in a heads-up fight. Maru wins against the carriers with Ghost, with this many Vikings, but Parting is not letting him take that fair fight. And why would he? Sweep the leg, twist the dick. All of these are not nearly out of the question. In fact, they're just foreplay for Parting as we're getting started here. The Disruptors going forward. The Liberators know where the army is. A whole nother group of that is. Anyways, the real action's over here. Turrets having their say. Vikings following. This is, yeah. The carriers will retreat. 3 nukes on the way. Meanwhile, the DTs blink back. A whole lot of bio has to be committed, and the bio is what's zoning out the main death ball of Parting. Without the bio there, he can actually just bust through, potentially. This is almost an entirely ground. If you look underneath, there are 4 ghosts. That's the entire ground army there. There's 1 Blink Templar. You can tell, even for these, the best players in the world, both these players probably in the top 10. It's just so much to manage. There's so much going on. And they both have armies that could obliterate one another, depending on the fight, the angle, the spell casting, the positioning. Parting has kind of trapped himself, it feels like, but he's got a full broadside of Disruptor! Center mass! Ground army! Gone! It's just gone! But the Vikings survive, leaving us in a very weird scenario where legitimately the Vikings could land and win this fight. But more charge lots coming up. Liberators will siege, but they're not protecting that outlying orbital. Maru, well, both players struggling here. The carriers, honestly, I think Parting's kind of relieved that the carriers died. Parting is not a slow carrier type of guy. He's a blink and pray. Maybe pray and blink. Eat, pray, blink. That was a documentary about him. For those who don't know, if you remember. You were just hallucinating anything else. Maru can't put supply on the table. He's broke. He's got a whole lot of bruised Vikings. Repairing them costs money, only a quarter as much, but he's been pushed around, he's been beaten down, he's been knocked up, and he's been knocked right back down. You can't rhyme down with down? Like, what are you, Pitbull? Well, right now Maru says, no bueno, dale, or whatever else. Oh, double air ball! He whipped it! He whipped. How many disruptor shots? We're missing it, Jimmy! Liberator's coming up. Maru struggling. He has 1 medevac. Good luck with that. Liberators, Vikings on the deck. Disruptor shot. Dangerous. But the Vikings! The landed Vikings have finally made a beachhead. The landed Vikings did enough. Maru is literally out of gas, and he's not mining any. Is he just mined out of it? Yes, 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 yes. Wait. Nuke on the way. His precious little gas. Is he going to be able to hit the ghost? A disruptor might be able to get... Oh, okay. He ain't fucking around. Are there more ghosts? The Vikings coming in to fight. They do extra damage against cannons and stalkers, that plus mechanical on the ground, but the storms will land. The Viking concave is quite good. Parting doesn't have that much mining, but he's denying what's left of Maru's. Parting's actually down in supply, but part of that is the workers. The army supply is in favor of Maru by a lot. Where is Parting mining from? Everybody's mining out. We're running out of space. We're running out of time. We're running out of minerals. What fight? Where, have those phoenixes been here the whole time? He's only lost... Yes, those were the phoenixes. For remember, this started with a max packs. The supplies are dead even. Oh, God. The entire army is in autumn colors here in the sky. Well, and the ground. We got the red, yellows, and oranges that you don't really want to see, even with damaged health bars and how beautiful they are. The overlapping diagrams of liberation. Meanwhile, the DTs with Blank being chased into a corner, but That doesn't necessarily stop them. Maru moving forward. Big storm. There's no medevacs. Maru's being whittled down. Parting is still mining, if only a little. Oh, the Vikings realize, oh wait, we can attack in the air. We're doing jumping jacks. Maru doing more exercise than he's done since quarantine. Oh, unfortunately that means he's a little slow on the draw. And suddenly Maru, his army is 12 Vikings, 4 Liberators, 4 Marauders, 4 Marines, and 2 nukes. With a couple medevacs, I think he just popped out. I think Parting is nearing that point where he just has too much. It's not yet, but we're very, very close. Oh god, the Disruptors! Oh god, this is not a good fight. Lift the Vikings! That was Parting! Oh wow, Parting just expands on the grave of the next. Oh, the only thing with a larger hitbox than Vikings, it seems, is your mother. The Disruptors are just hitting. Oh, that's it. 3 strikes, you're out. Parting finishes him. What a game. What a mess. What a disaster. What a twist. So much. A wide variety. Maru very ghost heavy. But Maru mixing in some carriers, some like mid-game carriers, but once they died, that really unlocked the revenge arc that Parting was looking for with the Dark Templar. So that was pretty sick. But if you enjoyed the match, like, subscribe, ring the bell. What do you think? Where is Serral to win everything everywhere? That's a great question. Continue asking. But thank you for watching. Thank you, Blizzard, for the War Chats Team League. Wardy for bringing us the replays, and you for being here. Good luck. Have fun. See ya next time.